We're returning to the same principle where we come from one system, which is called the soul of Adam HaRishon, which was shattered. It went through a shattering, and we are the result of the shattering, as each feels oneself as a separate part, a stranger to the other parts, resistive towards them, measures himself and as they are outside him. And therefore, our entire observation, our vision of our perception of reality and life is felt relative to the other parts of that soul. As much as I feel myself more successful, better, yearning to be more in all kinds of ways, relative to the root of the soul of each and every one. So accordingly, we behave this way. And from this state, we need to understand that our entire spiritual work is aiming us to return to that state in which we will be as one man in one heart. All our work is the correction of the system of Adam. As Adam is called so because this system needs to be doma, similar, resembling the upper. So the actions of each and every one need to be in accordance with the qualities of the Creator, relative to the connection. And the wisdom of Kabbalah explains to us the method of connection, the program of connection, the program of correction, meaning these are basically guidelines, technical guidelines of how we need to change gradually in order to reach proximity to one another and unite ourselves to the same system. This work is already done against the desire that has been revealed in the shattering of the Kli. And despite this egoistic desire, we need to reach connection. Certainly, we don't have the forces of connection. We don't even have desires for this. But rather, we receive an awakening from the Creator who shattered us. And we need to turn to Him in order to receive even greater desires than those He awakens in us for connection. We want to understand from Him the laws of connection, the laws of our commutation. And the wisdom of Kabbalah talks about this only about this, no more than that. How we come closer and connect and unite. And to the extent of connection between us, we begin to feel ourselves like the Creator. For then, as much as we can resemble His nature, one unique and special, then in us too, those same rules, same laws, qualities operate, phenomena like in the Creator. Therefore, accordingly, we are called Adam, those who are like Him. And this is how each of us needs to see himself as attaining those same qualities of the Creator through the connection with others. And then we relate completely differently to our existence, to our life, as much as the forces of nature, and nature in Gematria is Elohim, is God. they all are pushing us towards connection, towards correction, then accordingly we understand that against that force of ego, the force of evil, that personal, individual force in each and every one that has awakened by the shattering, we now need to acquire and draw to us in all kinds of ways the forces of connection. And to the extent in which we bring these forces of connection closer to us and bring ourselves closer to one another in the right way, in the connection correctly, like the parts of a Lego or a puzzle or something like that, then accordingly we will feel between us, in the connection between us, the qualities of the Creator. And this is how we will get to know Him, and His nature will clothe in us. And if we feel in this work resistance, we feel that we must invest forces in this, then we understand that specifically these forces that we need to invest are good forces which help us in our efforts against the forces of separation, more and more to understand and feel the forces of connection, the system of connection. In this way, through the advantage of light from darkness, as darkness shall shine like light, we come to an understanding of what this unified system is, what the nature of the Creator is. And this is how we learn it on ourselves already. And in this work, a person needs to also understand that what he feels inside his individual shattered vessel, and that's not how it truly happens outside of him. That what's outside of him, he needs to accept as the holy Shekhinah, as vessels that are all in connection and at the end of correction. And only he, the one who negates from his own flaws, can advance himself correctly this way to correction. Hence, the title also to what we will learn is called My Spirituality is Revealed Outside of Me. What does that mean? That other than a person, everything is the holy Shekhinah, the holy divinity, and there is nothing that is shattered there, but rather one negates from his own flaws, as it seems to him that way, from his own vessels. And when we work on ourselves, each on himself, and one will help his friend, we will understand how the Creator arranged these things for us, to see that we can learn from one another, to give an example, to reveal it, to envy, and so on and so forth. And through all these forces, even the egoistic forces, the evil ones, seemingly, we can advance towards Kedusha, towards holiness, towards connection and spirituality, through learning what forces operate in us, both the good ones if they're found, and the main thing is the bad ones. This is how we need to discover our nature, our current nature, and advance that way. That outside of a person is the Holy Shekhinah, and we need to unite with it. So to the extent in which a person emerges outside of himself and accepts it as being his, that's his internality, that's his spirituality, then accordingly he comes to the truth. And all our work needs to be that way. Whereas whatever is inside a person is all a klipa, the evil inclination, corporeality only, his animalistic level, and to the extent in which he is incorporated with what's outside of him, with the rest of the people, that is where he establishes and finds, builds his spirituality. Everything is ahead of us, it's all open, and it all only depends on our correct outlook on reality. Okay?